Hi, I'm Jamie Flunchball, author of People Solve Problems, and today I'd like to try to answer the question, do we need a unified theory of problem solving? That's been proposed, that's been asked, many people will even Google it, about a unified theory of problem solving. We have all of this stuff out there in the world. What if we tied it all together in one neat, nice package? Well, I believe that's not only not feasible, but not really useful, fundamentally at the end of the day. So if you took all the different tools and techniques from A3 to Six Sigma to trees and so forth and tied them all together, sort of two ways you can go down this path. And I've seen both attempted. One is you tie it all together and include everything. This makes it massively complicated and to tie it all into one system. And so it's already inaccessible for many people. Many people can't even get started with some of these techniques because it's challenging, takes a long time to learn. And I think a unified theory that tries to really integrate everything starts to make it even less accessible. But furthermore, once you do that, you sort of lock in what it is. And I believe that limits new thinking, new tools, new methods, new ideas, and actually is more likely for us to stall on our progress of understanding problem solving rather than to advance it. The other approach is to go simple, kind of look at, well, what's at the core? What's the simplest method that can be universally applied? And so if you took that approach, you'd probably end up with, most people would, if they're not trying to be original, would end up with some version of PDSA, back to Dr. Deming. And this is valid and useful, but it's far from complete, and it's certainly far from comprehensive. So sure, it's a simple pattern that might fall in line with many of the problem solving techniques, but it doesn't really get at all the capabilities that we can start to bring to bear on particular problems. So I really believe if you can't really find a sweet spot between too complicated and too simple, that really works for all situations, which means by definition, it can't be a unified theory. I think you can say in these set of circumstances, this is a good tool, this is our only tool, and off you go. And that might be simple, but then that doesn't extrapolate into other situations. Now we might ask, well, was Einstein wrong looking for a unified theory of physics? Well, no, because that's very different. Physics are predetermined. We may not understand them all, but they're already out there. They're already operating. We don't get to redefine physics. We simply get to discover it. But problem solving is a human construct. And all these methods are things that humans came up with. We can make them whatever we want. We can make them better. We can make them worse. But we can do that every day, but we can't change the laws of physics. So unified theory of physics makes a tremendous amount of sense. Unified theory of problem solving really starts to break down. Now, as you start to think about this library of problem-solving tools and techniques, I would prefer to think about it like a spice cabinet. You can have all these different spices on your spice cabinet. You don't need them all at once. You need the right things at the right time. So, spices are useful in different ways at different times and certainly in different recipes, but you put in the wrong spice and you just ruined a perfectly good meal. So what do we really need to do instead is we need to understand sort of first principles. We need to understand problem solving. We have to understand the spices on our spice rack as well. But at least on the first principles side, it's kind of like knowing how to cook. And once you know how to cook, you're much more adept at pulling spices off the spice rack and using them in the right way. And in a lot of ways, that's what, the book People Solve Problems was meant to do. Help understand some of the first principles of problem solving so that once you understand them, you can become much more adept at using the tools that you already know or learning new tools along the way. So don't go searching for unified theory of problem solving. Instead, build your spice cabinet, learn how to cook, and enjoy your next meal. Thanks for listening.